If you're hearing this right now, it's not a coincidence. Something led you here. A force beyond your understanding. A whisper in your subconscious that won't let you rest. Because tonight, we are going to talk about something they don't want you to know. You've had them, haven't you? The nightmares. The ones that leave you breathless, heart pounding, drenched in sweat. And no matter how much you try to forget them, they linger, like a shadow that refuses to fade. But what if I told you those weren't just dreams? What if your nightmares were something far more sinister? Something trying to warn you? Dream experts say nightmares are just the mind's way of processing fear, stress, and trauma. That they are nothing more than fragments of your daily thoughts, stitched together into terrifying illusions. But if that were true, then why do so many of us have the same dreams? The same shadows lurking in the corners, the same feeling of being watched, the same door that should never be opened. This is not your imagination. This is not some random trick of the brain. There is an ancient belief that nightmares are not creations of the mind, but messages, echoes from beyond the veil of reality. They are not showing you what is unreal. They are showing you what you are not supposed to see. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt a presence in your dream? Not just an image, not just a faceless stranger, but something you knew was real. The first sign of a warning nightmare is the presence of the watcher. You can't see them, but you feel them. The weight of their gaze pressing against your soul, as if someone or something is watching you from just beyond the darkness. And here's the terrifying part. Many who have encountered the watcher say that the feeling does not leave when they wake up. They report seeing shadows moving in their room, a figure standing at the foot of their bed, a feeling of being watched, even in broad daylight. The second sign is even more disturbing. Have you ever had the same nightmare over and over again? It repeats, exactly the same, night after night. No change, no escape. You tell yourself it's just a dream. But what if I told you it's not? There is a belief in ancient cultures that repeating nightmares are not dreams at all. They are memories. Memories of something you once saw, or worse, memories of something that once saw you. People who experience looping nightmares often report strange occurrences in real life. Objects in their room moved slightly from where they left them. Electronics turning on by themselves. And most disturbingly, hearing their own name being whispered when no one is there. And then, there's the third and most dangerous sign. Have you ever seen a door in your dream? A door that doesn't belong. Maybe it's at the end of a long dark hallway. Maybe it appears in places it shouldn't be. Maybe something behind it is calling you. Most people wake up before they reach it, but some don't. There are stories, true stories of people who claim that in their dreams, they walked through that door, and when they woke up, they were never the same again. Some spoke in languages they never learned. Some could describe places they had never been to. Some never woke up at all. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever experienced any of these signs? If you have, you need to be careful, because your nightmares are not just dreams. They are messages. They are warnings. And if you don't listen, if you ignore what they are trying to show you, then the next time you sleep, you might not wake up the same person. If you've ever had a nightmare that felt too real, if any of this resonates with you, comment "I see them" below. This is just the beginning. In the next part, we will uncover the most terrifying truth of all. What happens when you enter the dream world and something follows you back? Subscribe now, turn on notifications, because the deeper we go, the harder it is to wake up. You woke up, but did you really? Your heart was pounding. Sweat clung to your skin. The room was dark, but something felt different. That nightmare, it wasn't just a dream, was it? You felt it, the weight of something unseen pressing down on you, the lingering sense that something was watching you, and maybe still is. You told yourself it was just your mind playing tricks, just the remnants of fear from a bad dream. But deep down, you know better. And now, you're here, listening to this, because your nightmares have started feeling more real. And there's a reason for that. There is something terrifying about the idea of being watched, that feeling you get when you're alone in a room, but you just know you're not really alone. Some say this is paranoia. Others believe it's something much darker. The watchers, the ones who observe you in your sleep, the ones who stand in the corners of your dreams, faceless, unmoving, waiting. But what if I told you They don't just exist in your dreams. Many people who experience recurring nightmares with the Watchers report something chilling. They wake up, but the feeling doesn't go away. A shadow moving in the corner of their vision, a glimpse of a figure in their peripheral view, the feeling of someone standing over them. But when they turn, nothing. It's almost as if something followed them out of the dream. Throughout history, different cultures have described the Watchers in different names, different shapes, but always with the same chilling purpose. They are the ones who guard the barrier between dreams and reality, the ones who ensure that we stay asleep. Ancient scripts speak of something called the sleepless curse, a phenomenon where people who see too much in their dreams are marked, followed, and eventually lost. In the 1800s, a French scholar named Marcel Fontaine documented a case where a young woman repeatedly dreamt of a man with no eyes standing at the foot of her bed. Night after night, he appeared, until one night, she woke up screaming and swore he was still there. She was never the same again. She stopped sleeping, became terrified of closing her eyes, and then one night, she disappeared. Her family found her diary. The last entry: "He's watching me even now, even when I'm awake." Some say she was taken. Others say she simply walked away into something we cannot understand. But the Watchers are only the beginning. Have you ever had a dream where you saw a door? Not just any door, a door that shouldn't be there. One that seems out of place. One that calls to you. Some say these doors lead to places between worlds. A place where reality is that fragile. There are reports of people stepping through these doors in their dreams and waking up with memories that weren't theirs. One man in 1972 claimed to have opened a door in his nightmare. He saw a city he had never been to, met people he had never known. But when he woke up, he spoke a language he had never learned. He never spoke English again. You have to ask yourself, why do so many people report the same experiences in their nightmares? The same watching eyes, the same unseen presence, the same doorway waiting to be opened. Is it all just coincidence, or is it something more? And most importantly, what happens when you ignore the warnings? In the next part, we will uncover the truth behind the Watchers and what happens when you cross the threshold and don't return the same. Have you ever woken up and felt like something changed? Like reality itself shifted? The air feels heavier, the silence feels louder, and there's a lingering sense of something unseen watching. This is what happens when you open the door. Most people don't remember their dreams. They wake up, shake it off, and move on with their day. But some dreams don't just disappear. They stay, they linger. And the worst ones, they follow you. There is something unsettling about seeing a door in a place where it should not be. A door that appears out of nowhere. A door that calls to you. You may have seen it in your nightmares before. A door at the end of a long, dark hallway. A door covered in symbols you don't understand. A door slightly open, as if waiting. Many people report seeing the same thing in their dreams. The same strange, unknown door. But the real question is, what happens when you step through? There are stories, real stories of people who claim to have walked through that door in their dreams and woken up changed. Some never remembered what they saw, but others, they remembered too much. Let me tell you about a man named Elias Carter. In 1994, Elias began having recurring nightmares of a door. At first, he ignored it, but every night, the dream became more vivid. One night, he stepped through it. Elias woke up the next morning with something wrong. His wife noticed it immediately. His voice was different, his mannerisms unnatural. He was speaking a language he never learned. He told her that on the other side of the door, there was a city where no one had faces. Elias became obsessed. He stopped sleeping. He refused to close his eyes. And then, one night, he vanished. His wife found his journal open on the bed. The last thing he wrote, "They let me in, and now they won't let me leave." If this was just a dream, why do so many people report the exact same door? Why do some people never dream of it, while others see it every night? Why do some people wake up feeling wrong, as if a part of them never came back? There is an ancient belief that certain places in dreams are not dreams at all. They are real. And once you cross the threshold, you can't undo it. Have you ever woken up feeling observed, as if something is in the room with you? You tell yourself it's just your imagination, that the feeling will pass. But what if I told you it doesn't? What if something noticed you on the other side of the door? There are people who claim that after stepping through the dream door, they are never alone again. Some report seeing figures in their peripheral vision. Others hear footsteps following them in empty hallways. And some claim that the door starts appearing in real life. There are 3 signs that you might have stepped through the door in your dreams, even if you don't remember it. Sign 1. You wake up at the same time every night. 3:33 a.m., 4:04 a.m. A time that repeats. A time that feels unnatural. Sign 2. You see shadows in places they shouldn't be. Not just darkness, not just tricks of the eye, but shapes, figures, watching. Sign 3. You dream of something whispering, but you never see its face. If you've ever woken up to the sound of your name, but no one is there, you may already be marked. What you just heard is only the beginning. Your nightmares are not just dreams. They are not random. They are warnings. And if you ignore them, you might not wake up the same. The next part, we reveal the final truth. What happens when you go too far and something follows you back? You opened the door, didn't you? You may not remember doing it, but something does. The door that appeared in your dreams, the one that stood at the end of a dark hallway, the one that seemed to breathe as if it were alive. You saw it. You felt it. And now it knows you. And now you're here, listening. Because you feel it, don't you? That lingering presence in the room, that sense that something is just out of sight, waiting. You didn't just dream of that door, you stepped through it. And now you need to know what's waiting on the other side. There is a belief, one that dates back thousands of years, that certain places in our dreams are not dreams at all. They are real, a hidden world layered just beyond our reality. A world where time distorts, where faces blur, where things exist that should not be. The door is not just a symbol, it is an entryway, a crossing point. And those who walk through it never return the same. Some call it the in-between, others call it the forgotten place. But the most chilling name of all, the waiting room. Because when you step through that door, you're not just seeing something new, something is seeing you. There have been reports, cases of people who claim to have seen beyond the door, and what they describe is horrifying. A woman named Helen Waters began having recurring nightmares about a hallway, long, endless, stretching beyond what the eye could see. Every night, she found herself in front of the door. The first time, she refused to open it. The second time, she hesitated. But the third time, she walked through. She woke up screaming. Helen stopped sleeping after that night. She spoke of a city beyond the door, a city where the buildings shifted when she wasn't looking, where the air was thick, heavy, unnatural. She claimed she saw others there, people who had stepped through the door long ago and never found their way back. Then one day, Helen disappeared. No traces, no explanation, just gone. But the strangest part, the security camera in her apartment recorded something the night she vanished. At exactly 3:33 a.m., her bedroom door opened on its own. Some say she never left, that she's still in the waiting room. Many believe that once you step through the dream door, you are marked. Not physically, not with scars or symbols, but with something deeper, something that follows you. Sign 1. The dream repeats itself. You find yourself back in the same place, the same hallway, the same door. Sign 2. The feeling of being watched. Even when you're awake, you sense movement in the corners of your vision, a presence behind you, a feeling that something remembers you. Sign 3. The glitch in reality. Things feel off, lights flicker when you walk by, time feels distorted. Your reflection in the mirror seems different, like it's watching you back. Once you are marked, the door never fully closes, and one night, it may not be a dream at all. Some say that the second time you open the door, you don't come back. At least, not all of you. There are those who claim that some people walking among us, friends, family, strangers, are not fully themselves anymore. Something changed, something came back different. And if you look closely enough, you can tell. So now you have a choice. Ignore this. Tell yourself it was just a video, just a story. Or pay attention. Because if you start seeing that door again, if you hear faint knocking in your dreams, if you feel something watching you even when you're awake, then maybe you already stepped through it. In the next part, we reveal the final truth, who waits for you on the other side, And what happens when you cross the threshold one last time? By now, you've realized the truth, haven't you? Your nightmares are not random. They are not meaningless. They are not just shadows of your subconscious. They are messages, warnings, a glimpse into something beyond what we understand. And if you have ever stepped through that door in your dreams, then you know what comes next. You entered the waiting room, and now something in there knows your name. There is a place beyond dreams, a place that is neither real nor unreal, a place where time does not move the way it should, where walls shift when you aren't looking, where the air feels too thick and too empty. At the same time, this place has been called many names throughout history, but the most accurate name, the one whispered in the oldest forgotten texts, is the waiting room. It is not a place meant for the living, and yet some of us have been there, not by choice, but because we were called. But what calls us? What waits in the waiting room? And more importantly, how do we know if we've already been marked? If you've ever been there, you know what I'm talking about. The presence, the feeling that something is there with you, watching, waiting. They have no faces, no voices. They stand motionless, but you know they see you. You can feel them see you. They are called the silent ones. Throughout history, these figures have appeared in the dreams of thousands, always in the background, always just out of focus. But once you notice them, they notice you back. Let me tell you about Daniel Mercer. In 1987, Daniel began experiencing the same recurring dream every night. He would find himself in a vast empty building, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, endless hallways stretching in all directions, and standing at the farthest end of the hallway was a figure, still, silent, waiting. At first, Daniel ignored it, but the dream kept coming back, and every time, the figure was a little closer. One night, he made a mistake. He spoke to it. Daniel woke up screaming that night, but something had changed. He became obsessed with patterns, kept checking his reflection in the mirror, as if something was wrong with it. 2 weeks later, his wife found him standing in their bedroom, staring at the wall, unblinking. When she called his name, he turned to her and said, "This isn't my body." Daniel vanished the next night. No signs of forced entry, no clues, just gone. His final journal entry read, "They let me leave, but I don't think I'm alone. There are 3 signs that the silent ones have noticed you. 3 warnings that you are being observed. Sign 1. Your reflection feels wrong. Have you ever looked into a mirror and felt that something was off? Not just your imagination, not just a passing thought, but a deep, unshakable feeling that the person staring back at you isn't you. Sign 2. You hear whispers, but no one is there. A voice too faint to understand. A whisper just on the edge of hearing, and when you turn around, nothing. Sign 3. The feeling that you're forgetting something important. You wake up knowing you dreamed of something, but the memory slips away, like it was taken from you, like something doesn't want you to remember. If you've experienced any of these signs, then you've already been marked. There's one final warning, the most dangerous of all. If you ever find yourself in a dream where everyone is standing still, staring at you, silently, you need to wake up immediately, because that's not a dream. That's the waiting room. And once they surround you, you don't wake up the same. Now you know the truth. Now you know what watches from the other side. But the real question is, do they know that you know? And if you hear knocking tonight, will you answer? In the next part, we reveal the final truth. What happens when you become one of them, and why some people never wake up at all. By now, you've felt it, haven't you? That creeping sensation that something in your life has shifted. Maybe it was subtle at first. A strange shadow in the corner of your eye. A familiar room that suddenly felt different. Or maybe it was worse. Maybe you woke up, and for a split second, you didn't recognize yourself. Because that's how it begins. That's how they take you. And the scariest part? Sometimes, you don't even know it's happening. There's an old belief, buried in forgotten texts, that some nightmares are not meant to scare you. They are meant to replace you. The silent ones, the watchers, the beings who wait in the waiting room. They are not just watching, they are choosing. They do not kill, they do not haunt, they do something far worse.